Hello, this is Daryl with Roanoke Hobby, and today we're going to do a little field testing with a stubby antenna for one of my, or actually for a couple of my Baofeng radios. This is the Nagoya NA-810. It's the SMA female, which will match up with the both of the Baofengs, the regular analog and the RD-5R for DMR. First off, on eBay and some other sources, I've been reading some controversy about counterfeit copycats and how to tell if you've got a genuine article or not. Some of what I was seeing was looking at the quality of the packaging. A genuine package is going to have nice, well-formed, rounded corners versus the counterfeit packaging might be squared off, jagged, or ragged corners. And also check the QR code. Actually scan it and see if it's a legitimate QR code. The counterfeits and the scammers will just put something that looks like a QR code on there and fake it. So as best as I can tell, this is a genuine product, and I'll put in a little plug here because I ordered it from a legitimate source. So baofengtech.com is the source where I ordered this particular antenna. So the field testing we're going to try it out with a just analog UV-5R and the RD-5R for the digital DMR. And just kind of as a comparison, we're going to go ahead and bring up a repeater with the stock antenna, and this is a local repeater, and we'll just see what kind of reception we get with the stock antenna and maybe see some kind of signal strength. KI4LLA on 275.
4HRS repeater downtown Roanoke.
Okay, that was a good solid. I got like 4 bars and clear copy, no static, and no interruptions or breakups, not breaking up. And then the for DMR, I'm going to test it with my hotspot, which is in the house a couple floors down. So we're not right on top of the hotspot, and we're going to bring up a talk group on the hotspot. This KI4LLA listening on Southwest Virginia. And I'm not particularly expecting a response there, but it was able to connect and didn't seem to have any problems with the stock antenna. Speaking of the stock antenna, I actually find it a little bit annoying. If I'm carrying this on my belt around the house, I'm sure this is a good antenna for what it was designed for, but this particular radio I use just around the house, carried on my belt as I'm walking around the yard doing yard work, and that antenna just is a little bit annoying and gets in the way. So that's the reason why I wanted to try this antenna. So I'm not looking for anything long distance, but something to get a good connection around the house or with a local repeater that's very close. Okay, so I've got the antenna out of the package, and one of the reasons why I like this particular model, get the cat hair or whatever that is off the antenna there, it is a very flexible and Springy Antenna. And my camera jammed up there a little bit, so we'll see how this comes across. With the SMA, the right kind of SMA connector for this particular radio I want to use it with. And the one thing this came with was an extra washer to help fill in the gap, because it's probably not going to fit exactly the same as the stock antenna. So that actually gives me a bit of a clue that I've actually got a genuine article here, because I bet the counterfeits don't include the washer that you need. So we get the washer on there. And yeah, the washer does help. And now nice snug fit there. I probably could work on that a little bit to close down that gap. But all right, let's turn it on and let's try the same repeater. And like I said, this is a local repeater here in town, not any particular long distance. So we'll try it. KI4LLA listening on 275. And I didn't, again, I'm not expecting a response. There's probably not anybody particularly listening right now, but it looks like I got 4 bars when I did get the tone back from the repeater. So that's a good sign. I think it's going to be a suitable replacement for the stock antenna. And here's the antenna on the RD-5R. I went ahead and removed the washer because on the RD-5R it fits nice and snug with no gaps without the washer. So we left it out for this time, and we'll turn the radio on, and we're going to try the same thing. We're just going to put my call out here on this talk group. It's a dynamic talk group that I'm using. It's not actually going to bring up any repeaters. So again, unless I just happen to catch someone who's listening, I'm probably not going to get much of a response. KI4LLA listening, Southwest Virginia. Okay, seems to be working fine and inside the house. So the last thing I'm going to try, we're going to take this outside in the backyard. The lot my house is on is got a fairly deep lot, so I'll probably be 150 yards away from the hotspot. So the last part of the test is we're gonna get a little bit of distance away from the hotspot, and I've got the power setting on low, so it's going to be about 1 watt or less. And of course the hotspot is only about 10 milliwatts, so we're going to give it one more test outside. Okay, so the last part of our test, we're outside in the backyard. I'm probably 150 yards away from the house, and the hotspot's down in the basement of the house. So this is the intended use, is to be able to use this around the house. And as you can probably hear, I'm in the back of the yard here, near where the chickens are. So they might chime in a little bit while we're doing our test. So we're gonna try to get to the hotspot in the house. KI4LLA listening on Southwest Virginia. And yes, of course, the chickens hear me talking, so they're going to talk back. And again, like I said, I wasn't particularly expecting a response, but it made good contact and no problem. All right, and just for grins and giggles, we're going to try a 2-meter repeater that's about 15-20 miles line of sight from my location. And we'll just see what kind of response we get back from that. KI4LLA listening on 985. and I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but I got four bars. I got a good solid clear response without any static. So I would say this is a successful test, and this particular stubby antenna will work just fine for the intended purpose, which is to use it around the house and with a local repeater. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like if this is useful to you at all, and we'll see you next time we do some more field testing.